What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, and I do hope you are all doing well today, man. I really do hope that. And welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy, where I go across football news media, consolidate all the gear to do with Chelsea Football Club, present it to you guys, offer my opinion, and more importantly, ask for your opinion down in the comments section below, and we move, man. Today we're talking about two rather big stories. One is the return of Kante. N'Golo Kante back to full training. What does that mean for Frank Lampard's Blues? Will he play when football resumes? And I want to explain to you guys, if he does play, that's massive. Not because N'Golo Kante is a good player, which of course he's world class, but why a player of his particular attributes would really suit what Chelsea need with the resumption of football. So put a pin in that for a second. And also, I want to give you guys an update on Kai Havertz. Managing director Rudi Völler made a comment on how Bayer Leverkusen have not given up on keeping Kai Havertz, basically insinuating they know there's heavy interest, most notably from Chelsea Football Club, as we have been discussing for the last few days, and of course, German behemoth Bayern Munich. And Kai Havertz himself has come out and said a few things about what he expects from his club / next club, and it kind of makes me think maybe he'd end up at Bayern Munich, especially seeing as he's a sort of perfect replacement for Thomas Müller. But still, Chelsea have a chance, and they have made initial talks with Leverkusen to sign Kai Havertz, and Bayer Leverkusen could do with the money. So anyway, before we crack open all this interesting news, a quick reminder to you there to subscribe to Football Therapy if you've not already done so, man. Only if you'd like to though, but if you choose to, please do hit that bell notifications icon, as it is important. And if you want to help me out, please do drop a like on this video, please. Alright, let's get into it. N'Golo Kante, la 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 la, il fait petit, il fait gentil, or something, don't know the words. N'Golo Kante, World Cup winner, PFA winner, multiple Premier League winner with different teams, FA Cup winner, it goes on. A superb interceptive box-to-box midfielder. That's right, I'm not going to say defensive midfielder. An amazing world-class player. Sure, he's had difficulty finding his feet under Lampard and Sarri with new roles, and of course he's had a really difficult time with injury, and of course, a really difficult time coming to terms with this pandemic, and he was not comfortable with training, and Chelsea were very, very good with that. They were completely understanding and let him sit out all training and train by himself. He had his own personal reasons to be concerned, but Chelsea have convinced him to come back into full contact training, which he has returned into. Chelsea are a very, very well-run institution and do things very well. Too many wells. Anyway, Kante's concerns was not regarding Chelsea Football Club's strategy with dealing with the pandemic. It was more going back to playing games where he wouldn't trust the opposition teams necessarily with how they're dealing with, I guess cleanliness is the word, but he trusts Chelsea and how they were doing things. He had concerns going back into football, but for the moment, he's returned to full contacts training and he's looking good with the boys. Everything's looking good on the training pitch at the moment, which is excellent, but I want to take a moment to explain why, if Kante does indeed decide to play for the resumption of football from the 17th onwards, that would be huge for Chelsea. Yes, of course, Chelsea's win percentage this season with Kante in the team is actually worse with him out of the team, and that might have something to do with a chemistry thing or him playing through injury, but all bets are off with the resumption of football, and it's not going to be the same. The biggest thing is fitness. We've seen from the Bundesliga injuries are up like 250%. Of course, that's why the Premier League and indeed the Bundesliga have been granted the 5 substitutions. Now, provided N'Golo Kante doesn't actually have an injury, he is a specimen, a sort of almost an alien type footballer in terms of his stamina, his ability to keep running, and even if his chemistry, touch and stuff needs to be fine-tuned in the long haul, the type of player Kante is, provided he's not injured going into it, he can use his elite stamina to simply outplay the opposition. Chelsea, one of their biggest, most important benefits going into football now will be keeping players running and high energy. Kante inherently, just as a human, has high energy. So if Chelsea and Frank Lampard can capture a little bit of that, get him playing again in the resumption of football, provided N'Golo Kante feels safe, that could be a massive benefit. Right, let's move on. Let's talk about the German wunderkid, Kai Havertz, 20-year-old, had an amazing last couple of seasons. Of course, I've done a few videos on him recently. Please feel free to go back and watch those. Chelsea have apparently opened talks officially, so say it, news headlines the last few days. Certainly they've made initial contact with Leverkusen about the acquisition of the player to bring him to Chelsea Football Club. Of course, Frank Lampard is making moves at the moment, and the project down in SW6 looks awfully exciting, and maybe a player like Kai Havertz would see that. You'd imagine a player of his quality drawing that much interest with not that much left on his contract is probably ready to leave and move on. Managing director Rudi Völler has pretty much said, look, we're confident we can still try and keep him when challenged about this situation, but to be honest, his words said more than that. His words said, look man, yeah, everyone wants him, he probably might go. Generally, when someone says, look, we're trying to keep him, like, we're confident we might keep him, it's basically saying, ugh, everything's burning. So, to be honest, in my opinion, I think Kai Havertz has got two most likely destinations. The bookmakers still make him favourites to go to Bayern Munich, and then Chelsea are coming in hot as second favourites, maybe because of all the recent news headlines and stories surrounding the player. Now, he suits Bayern Munich, and he could be the long-term successor to Thomas Müller. They're very similar in many ways, got the positional versatility, goal-scoring ability, almost built the same, kind of. So really, he'd be perfect to replace Thomas Müller and go into that team. And it's important to note that the player himself, Kai, has recently come out and said, look, wherever he goes, his team, his next team, they need to be like challenging. So even if you believe in the Chelsea project and see where it's going, there's no guarantee Chelsea are going to be challenging immediately, right? You go to Bayern Munich, oh my god, you're just going to definitely win the league every single year. So there's that. Really, at this point, it would come down to the player. Would he want to do something different? Like, you know, do you just want to go to Bayern Munich and win all the time? And the thing is, it's not just Bayern Munich winning in an inferior league all the time. That Bayern Munich team at the moment are probably the best team in Europe. Think about that. Think about how they're favourites for the Champions League. Think about how they completely dismantled us in Europe, and that was embarrassing. Yeah, don't think about that too much. So yeah, Bayern Munich are an attractive proposition. He's of course a young German lad, and they're a big German team. It could happen, but if he has the ambition to really challenge himself and do something different, come to the Premier League, who knows, maybe Chelsea would offer him more money than Bayern Munich. That is very plausible with that sweet Premier League P. And maybe he just thinks, you know what, I want to be in a multicultural Chelsea project. I want to play with Hakim Ziyech. I know Timo Werner's an absolute gunman. He's been playing for Leipzig over the road. I don't think it's over the road, but you know, in the Bundesliga. I want to be a part of that. I know about this young Chelsea English squad. I watched them play Ajax. I want to be a part of that. And almost, possibly most importantly, Frank Lampard, attacking midfielder. He would have watched him growing up. He probably might have spoken to him at this point. I can't say for sure. We know Frank Lampard's on a charm offensive, and when he talks, you listen. So maybe once he has a conversation with Lamps, he fancies, you know what, London sounds pretty darn cool. Maybe I will go for that. One thing is for sure, Roman Abramovich is going all in. He's been saving up his pennies through the transfer ban, even through the January transfer window. Chelsea have sales money. Chelsea are in the green. Roman is ready to go again. He loves Chelsea. 2004 reboot, it's time to break football. Lovely scenes indeed. So what do I think? Personally, I maintain the same stance on Kai Havertz. I don't think he's a problem position, but I do understand the concept of Frank Lampard going for serious quality in the front line with positional versatility, and Kai Havertz would of course bring that, and he would be a statement signing. If Chelsea are starting the next campaign with a front line of Ziyech, Werner, Havertz, you know, even like, you know, rotating in Abraham, Pulisic, Kovacic, Mount, Loftus-Cheek, Billy Gilmore, Jorginho, N'Golo Kante, it just screams incredible quality. Of course, if they have Reece James at right back, he is a huge player that needs to be spoken about as well. And then you'd imagine Chelsea are also going to buy a left back as well. Roman Abramovich has seen the fruits of his finances in the academy come to fruition. Ooh, what a sentence that was. He put a lot of money into the academy, he wanted to see it pay dividends, he's starting to do that, but it was never going to be 20 squad of academy players. You need that marketable European superstar quality to be dropped in. That's what's happened, that's what's happening, and that's what will happen in the future, hopefully. So Roman, Marina, Petter, Frank, they've got a big project together. We're going. If truly Frank Lampard does get the opportunity to speak to Kai Havertz, hopefully he can convince him to come to Chelsea and he doesn't end up at Man United or Liverpool. Anyway, what do you think? I want to get your thoughts and opinions on the stories I've spoken about in this video down in the comment section below. How do you feel about N'Golo Kante returning to training, full contact training? If fit, do you want him to start when the resumption of football comes around? Let me know that in the comment section below, and really do express all your thoughts and feelings on Kai Havertz down in the comment section below as well. I'll be down there responding to you guys, checking out what you're saying. I love interacting with you, so please do so. Remember, if you've enjoyed this content, please do drop a like on this video, and if you're new to the channel, man, why not subscribe? Join the party, jump aboard. That's it from me, you lot. Enjoy the football that is happening soon, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.